Hey everyone, welcome back to another Haolonggood review. Today we're taking a look at their Tianzhenosaurus pair. Haolonggood has been pretty aggressive with their releases lately. They've released like 3 sets of figures in less than 2 weeks apart from each other, and the latest of which is this Tianzhenosaurus. At the time of this review, they already released their newest set of figures, two gorgeous looking Pentaceratops, which I'm really excited for. Already ordered them, so expect that review when they come in. Now, their aggressive release schedule reminds me of P&S. So a couple years ago, I remember a couple years ago, P&S was releasing figure after figure, week after week for like a couple months on end, gave us our wallets a break for like a month, and then did it all over again. But I'll say one thing about Haolonggood, their figures are very affordable. These Tianzhenosaurus only cost around 20 bucks a piece, and they're just both extraordinary looking figures. I'll leave a link down below to AliExpress if you want to purchase these figures for yourself. So let's go over the package really quick before we take a look at these two figures. Comes in this nice little box. There is a foam insert inside, so the figures stay well protected. You notice one of my boxes was a little bit dent up because of that foam insert, they are very well protected inside the box. You got both of them on the front of the box, and underneath you do have a check mark to indicate which color figure is included. There is a green and an orange version, and on the top of the box we have a picture of all their releases. Now, Haolonggood has collaborated with GR Toys, and I always kind of get mixed up, which figures are whose, but we pretty much have the whole line right here. We've got the T-Rex, the Spinosaurus, Concherodontosaurus, the Pseudoceratops, the Creosaurus, and the recent release Ouranosaurus. The only thing not pictured on here is the Therizinosaurus, but yeah, they're getting pretty aggressive, and they're getting a pretty diverse lineup, and they're definitely going to give P&S a run for their money with the quality that they are putting out. So anyways, enough about the packaging. Let's throw these two figures up on the turntable and take a closer look. And here are both figures of the packaging, and another stellar job from Haolonggood. Both these figures are absolutely beautifully detailed, and for the price, you just can't beat the quality you've been getting with their releases. Now, these Tianzhenosaurus are types of Ankylosaurus. They have a nice, cute, chubby appearance with those club tails at the end. Now, there's two versions. There's the green and the orange version. The orange version, it's pretty much brown, is my favorite of the two. It's the most natural looking of the pair, and just like the osteoderms and just all the scale detail. The paintwork on these figures is absolutely pretty much second to none for this price range. I'm really blown away by them. The green version, or whatever, the blue version, it's okay. It just kind of reminds me like of a bronze statue oxidizing with that blue on all the spikes and osteoderms. But for all around, it makes a nice pair to have both these figures. That's why I don't mind picking up both versions, because they're such affordable figures. It's nice to have two different color variants on your shelf. It kind of looks like a mated pair. But yeah, all around, great job with both these figures. And now for some measurements. This figure is 5 3/4 inches long for the tip of the snout to the tip of the club tail, of 14.6 centimeters, and about 1.5 inches tall, or 3.8 centimeters. So Tianzhenosaurus was around 13 feet long, or 4 meters. So put this figure in the 127 scale range. And now let's first take a look at the green version of this figure. Definitely my least favorite of the two color schemes. Still a great looking figure. It's very well painted. Now, Tianzhenosaurus, some paleontologists consider it a junior synonym for Cycania. There's very few morphological differences between the two species. So, if you want to consider a Cycania, you can consider this a Cycania figure collection. But let's take a look at the head. Head is nicely sculpted. You see the mouth sculpted in. Just a little black dot for the pupil, which I think works. You see the nostril sculpted right there. Lots of beautiful scale detail all over the head. You have a nice wash to bring out all this caked up dirt look between all the osteoderms on that very heavily armored head. And turn the figure upside down. You have a nice wide and chubby looking throat with some nice orange highlights. And then going on the back, the sculpting of the armor plating on here is absolutely spectacular looking. Look how nicely the osteoderms are done. You have that nice wash in there for that caked up dirt look, just all around. I just can't believe how cheap these figures cost and how nicely they are painted. I've said that in the last couple of reviews from this company, and it looks like I'm going to continue to keep saying that. Going down to the legs, you can see nice chubby squat legs. The toe claws are painted in a light gray color, some nice folds and wrinkles along the side, just all this nice speckling and blotch, and just that paintwork is just so damn good. Going down the hind legs, nice folds and wrinkles, some large, thick scales on the thighs, and they just transition to small scales as you get down to the calves. Same thing with the toe claws, that light gray color. Here's the underside of the very wide belly of more of that orange highlights and large belly scales. And let's do our dinosaur butthole check. While we have it flipped over, there it is. Nice cloaca slit at the base of the tail, and then going down to the tail, you have that wonderfully sculpted club tail. So all around, just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous looking piece. And next up, let's take a look at the orange version, my favorite of the two. This is just a nice, natural looking color scheme on here. Just turned out absolutely great. Let's zoom in on the head. It's got the same black pupil as the other version. That's that brown and black coloration, and just all the earth tones really make this look nice and natural. I like how some of the osteoderms are just picked out in different colors. This gives it such a natural look. Here's the underside of the throat. You have a little bit lighter orange airbrushing on this throat versus the green version. And then going down to the back, just look how gorgeous that armor looks on here. Just truly a spectacular piece. Just all the detail on those spikes. It's just, like I said, I'm just blown away by the paintwork and what you pay for these figures. Like, this was a PNSO release. This is easily a $40 figure, and this thing costs $20. If you get it on sale, you can probably get it for like around like 17 bucks. You get some nice yellow and browns mixing in on the side, just nice blotches. Here's the underside of the belly. Toe claws, same thing. They're painted that light gray color just like the previous version. And let's go down to the tail, and that beautifully, beautifully sculpted club tail. Just love that wash to give it all that caked up look. So yeah, these figures are just absolutely extraordinary. Moving on with comparison, first up here is Collecti's 140 scale human. Let's do some of Haolonggood's previous releases. Here it is with their Pseudoceratops, which are both absolutely amazing looking figures. And next up, here it is with their Tyrannosaurus. Absolutely love these two. Yes, the thumb spike still bothers me, but there's no denying that these are two gorgeous figures that you just can't beat for 20 bucks. And next up, here it is with their Prehistroy. My issue with these releases, I was so excited for the Prehistroy figures, is that whatever paint they use rubbed off really, really easily. I've never had a problem with any of the other releases other than these two. You see like the paint rubbing off on the thigh on the green one right here. But it's safe to say that with these newer releases and some of the previous figures, that they don't have this issue with the paint. And let's do another one. Here is their Carcharodontosaurus, which is still my definitive Carcharodontosaurus on my shelf. I like the PNSO one, but I just really like the GR Toys, Haolonggood version much better. Just like the colors and the detail and much better. And lastly, here is a group shot of other Ankylosaurus species from other companies. First up, we have PNSO's Ankylosaurus. Remember way back then, PNSO was releasing great figures for under $20. Pepper Farm remembers. We have Vitae's spectacular looking Jinyu Pelta. Poor Vitae, they just never caught a break. We have Safari Limited Zool, and we have PNSO's Panacosaurus. So a lot of cool Ankylosaurus species. We have some nice variety now for our shelves with the inclusion of these Tianzhenosaurus. So final thoughts on Haolonggood's Tianzhenosaurus. Both great looking figures. If I had to pick one, I definitely go with the orange version. I just like the more natural earth tones that it has. The green version is also great. That's why I'm glad they always have two options. So we have figures that fit pretty much everyone's taste, but they're both beautifully sculpted figures, and the paintwork is absolutely immaculate. Like I keep saying during this review, I'm just blown away by how good Haolonggood's paintwork is on their figures. For the price you're paying, these figures cost around $20. If you really search hard, you can find them for a little bit less than that, and they're worth absolutely every penny. Now, like I said at the beginning of the review, I end up getting these off AliExpress. Link is down below in the description. So that will do it for the review. I'm finally catching up on reviews on the channel. My Florida vacation messed everything up. And yeah, so finally catching up. Got one more Jurassic World Island review, and I got the new Haolonggood Pentaceratops coming in, and there should be a bunch of new stuff coming out in May. So expect a lot of new reviews on the channel. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.